If you have ever played a shooter before, you have definitely used an assault rifle, seeing how they are basically the default of all weaponry. However, there are a few types of assault rifles, and it can be hard sometimes to balance them all. There is the default of the assault rifles that you're probably familiar with, the automatic. Then there is the semi-automatic, also known as a carbine, the rapid fire, and burst assault rifles. But how do we balance them all? Well, let's start with the automatic. Automatic rifles, also known as full auto rifles, are more or less the default of assault rifles, and probably the most iconic weapon in gaming. With it being an all-rounder of weapons, exceptional versatility and functionality across the gaming encounters and situations, it has good accuracy, damage, mobility, little recoil, and a high fire rate with an average of 30 bullets or ammunition based on the game, and making them effective for suppressing enemies and laying down cover fire. With balanced performance and attributes, they are the middle ground between every other type of weapon. Some examples of automatic rifles are the M4A1 in Call of Duty. The M4A1 optimizes versatility and reliability in the Call of Duty franchise, offering a well-rounded performance suitable for various playstyles and combat scenarios. And the M4 from Rainbow Six Siege. The M4 is arguably the best weapon in the game, with its high fire rate and large magazine. Mixed with the one-shot headshot feature of the game, it makes it a top choice for champion players, or any default assault blaster in Star Wars Battlefront 2. While the models and sounds change depending on what area you play in and what side you're on, however, the stats are the same. The blaster, or blasters, I guess, as you might expect, are good but not great. Later on you unlock other blasters that are more specialised, like the CR2 is specialised for close range with its rapid fire and low damage. Another type of assault rifle is the semi-automatic, also known as the semi-auto or carbine rifle. Carbines have less of a fire rate as they are semi-automatic, meaning one pull of the trigger and one bullet is shot. They also have less mobility than the automatic, as they have a higher damage, range and accuracy and slightly more recoil. The carbine is designed to be more sniper-like than the automatic, with it being more precise and its higher damage and range. The EL-16 HFE from Star Wars Battlefront 2 has a lower fire rate than the default blaster, but has a higher damage and is built for longer ranges, as well as slower bullets, making you lead your shots more. However, this becomes more challenging the further distance you have to shoot, making it fit for medium to long range maps like Geonosis, Camino Phase 2, Kashyyyk Phase 1 and 2. However, I don't recommend the assault class for the long ranges in the first place. Another type of assault rifles are the rapid rifles. These rifles are normally smaller, but I'll call them average, maybe another above average, massive even. With that they give more mobility and a higher fire rate, but has a short range and low damage. Because of this, they are more like the SMG of assault rifles, or the CR2 from Star Wars Battlefront 2, which has a high fire rate but is meant to be used in small and close quarters map, or the Alternator from Titanfall 2. Although it is the SMG of the game, it is meant for close quarters with its high fire rate and low damage and range. And the last type of assault rifle we're going to talk about is the burst assault rifle, also known as the battle rifle. This rifle has low damage output, but it shoots in a burst, normally in a burst of 3, and the A280 from Star Wars Battlefront 2, battle rifle from Splitgate, or the Hemlock from Titanfall 2. A lot of games have them, and with the burst capabilities, aiming for the chest is the best option, as the burst normally recoils up and you get headshots. The burst assault rifle does normally have lower damage since it shoots multiple shots fast, meaning you get a lot of damage in one burst. Now, balancing all these types of assault rifles can be challenging, seeing how they are very different. If we look at the assault class in Star Wars Battlefront 2, where each unlockable weapon is its own category. The A280 is the burst, the EL-16 HFE is the carbine, the CR2 is the fully automatic, and the E11D is also fully automatic, meaning the developers had to balance all these rifles while still giving each of them their own pros and cons. First, let's look at the A280. The burst assault rifle has medium damage, low fire rate, but it shoots 3 shots at a time in medium range, and with its 110 bursts per minute and 600 rounds per minute, and with each shot doing from 19 to 32 damage per shot, and 8 bursts or 24 shots till overheating, and a range of 40 meters, the damage drop-off starting at 20 meters. These base stats of the A280 make it great at medium encounters, and it's great on maps like Co-op Kashyyyk Phase 3, with the medium open area between the 2 A6 Juggernaut turbo tanks and the Phase 4 inside the Venator class Star Destroyer. Next, the EL-16 HFE. This carbine-like blaster does 30 to 49 damage, fire rate 200 rounds per minute, and starts damage drop-off at 20 meters and ends drop-off at 40 meters. It can be increased by attachments. Next, the CR2. It has the highest fire rate in the game with 900 rounds per minute and is 8 to 16 damage per shot. However, it does not have great range, since the damage drop-off starts at 15 meters and ends at 30 meters, making it have a max range of 30 meters. And finally, the E11D, with its 300 rounds per minute and starts damage drop-off at 20 meters and ends damage drop-off at 40 meters. These rifles are balanced. The CR2 has a high fire rate but a low damage and range, making it better for short ranges. The A280 and E11D are better at medium range, and the EL16 HFE is better at longer ranges. Balancing these makes the player change the blaster that they use on each map and how the map evolves. This is critical to making sure that no one blaster can be overpowered and can be used at any time. So, with that in mind, we can now balance our assault rifles. Now first, what is the difference between handling and accuracy? Well, accuracy lowers the horizontal recoil and spread, while handling lowers vertical recoil, reload speed, aiming down sight speed, and it's basically just how stable your gun is, like its sway, and it's just how basically fast your crosshair balances out after moving it. So let's first deal with the automatic rifle. We want it to have decent damage and a good headshot multiplier, a medium range, okay recoil, and about 30 magazine captivity, and somewhat good accuracy and higher fire rate, handling and mobility than average, making it a good all-rounder but does not excel in any category. Now the carbine. Since it's fit for longer range encounters, we want it to have higher damage and headshot multiplier, and range is also increased. The recoil we can increase a bit too, and we can give it a lower magazine captivity since it has more accuracy, and finally a lower fire rate and average handling and mobility. Next, the rapid rifles. We want this to have low damage and headshot multiplier and range to compensate for its high fire rate, and we need it to have a higher magazine captivity since it has a higher fire rate. Now the accuracy, we want it to be somewhat accurate at the start, then decrease as you fire, and we'll have a low handling since it's small, and we want it to have a high mobility, making it best for close range encounters. And lastly, the burst assault rifles. We want it to have lower than average damage, and a higher headshot multiplier, slightly more range, lower recoil, average magazine captivity, higher accuracy. Now the fire rate would be low since it only shoots 3 shots then cools, but have a low fire rate, decrease handling and average mobility. Now, how do attachments affect these stats? There are multiple types of attachments: scope, magazine, muzzle, underbarrel, and laser and light attachments. So let's start with scopes, also known as optics. They provide the ability to zoom in, seeing further distances. There are many different types of scopes like red dot optics, sniper scopes, dual zoom scopes. Now, many games increase range because of this. However, this is not realistic, so we won't have that, but we will increase accuracy and decrease handling, and possibly the mobility if it is a big scope. Having a big scope could decrease aim down sight time. And also some scopes have the con of having a sniper glint, letting opponents see your location.
Come on, Marv, get up. You don't have any more bricks. He's out of it. What? What?
However, some optics can have the advantage of thermal vision as well. Next, the magazines. You have extended with increased ammo cap, but decreases mobility and handling. However, this could also decrease recoil and increase reloading time. Next, the quick reload magazines. Now with these, they have a quick reload time, but they decrease the amount of ammunition since they are normally smaller to compensate for the quick reload time. They've increased handling and mobility and higher recoil. Lastly, drum magazines. They will be the same as the extended magazines, but increased. Now double drum magazines will be the same, but those values will be increased further. And now for the muzzles. First, suppressors. They decrease the sound of shots, and in some games they hide the shots from opponents' radars. However, in real life they increase damage, range and accuracy slightly, but this could be too overpowered depending on how much you increase it. So we'll just increase damage and range and a bit decrease the handling. Now for the flash hiders, they do what they say. They hide the flash of shots, decrease damage and handling, but also lowers recoil. And finally the muzzle brakes. They're pretty simple. They decrease the recoil, but also handling. And next, the underbarrel attachments. We have the grenade launcher, a vertical grip, angled grip, and bipods. For the grenade launcher, they will decrease handling, mobility and accuracy, but also recoil since it has the ability to shoot grenades, and the ammunition can be swapped out for smoke or flash grenades in some cases. Next, the vertical grip. They increase accuracy and decrease recoil and also handling. However, normally, they increase hip fire control. For the angled grips, they increase accuracy and mobility, but increase recoil. and lastly the bipods. They will decrease mobility and accuracy whilst not prone, but when you are, they will increase. Now, the last attachments are lasers and lights that are the side of the assault rifle. The lasers are easy and increase accuracy, mobility and handling, but the lasers are visible to opponents, and it's really the same for lights, but only useful in the dark. Now, to make assault rifles, or just weapon play in general more exciting, having a mini-game like in Star Wars Battlefront 2 and Gears of War, where every time you reload your gun, you are offered a mini-game where you're able to win extra ammunition by pressing reload or shoot at the right time, either reloading your gun faster or giving you extra bullets or more powerful ones. However, if you land outside of this thing, you are punished by having a longer cooldown or reload time. Extra features like this give an extra level of gameplay. So that's it. Thanks for watching the whole video. I put a lot of work into it, and have a good day.